This episode of Now This Is Lit is brought to you by Audible. Check the link in the description to get your first Star Wars audiobook free. Everyone loves free things. Click that link. Do it. This show is also brought to you by our patrons. If you want to support the show in a different way, with just $1 a month, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/StarWarsLitPod. You can get a sticker. You can get access to an exclusive show that we do every month that's wild and chaotic and fun and something you can only get by becoming a member of the Patreon. There'll be so many more perks very, very soon. But for now, do you want a sticker? Do you want a sticker that has a Now This Is Lit logo? Because it's fantastic and I love them. But I also want to give them away because there's just a stack of stickers on my desk. So if you want one, $1 a month. Patreon.com/StarWarsLitPod. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Really got to actually go to San Diego Comic-Con at some point.
Yes, we do.
Got to go to a con that's not Star Wars Celebration.
Yes.
Although, when we did do that, it was very fun. Very eventful weekend, if you will.
Agreed.
I highly doubt that Comic-Con would be as eventful as that was for us, but I guess you never know. Welcome, everyone, to a bonus episode of Now This Is Lit. We're bringing you breaking news. I don't get to do that very often. It's very exciting for me. My producer is here.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm tired. Isn't that just the norm these days? I don't know. We have some exciting stuff, some reveals that were revealed at the Lucasfilm Publishing panel that just happened, and we're going to talk about those reveals. Some High Republic stuff, some High Republic stuff that's different than the other High Republic stuff. We'll talk about that. Very excited. Can't wait to get all of these things, but some of them are very far away, so we'll have to wait. But yeah, let's go over what we got. We can just go down the list, I guess.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so we've got something we already knew was coming, but we got a little bit more of a look at, which is Kevin Scott's Kelnaka miniseries. What is the actual term? One shot.
One shot, yeah.
One shot, yes.
Okay. I'm so much more excited about that now than I was when it first got announced, because like I don't know if I'd be into that, but like I'm into it, especially now because we've seen the show.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, and it's Kevin Scott, so that's a plus.
Exactly.
Another comic that I mean, it won't be hard to keep up with that one because it's just the one.
Literally a one shot. Yep.
Just the one. Yeah, I'm ready. And it's September, so not that far away.
Exactly. All right, so we've got that coming. We have got something that people have been asking for a while now. Mm-hmm. Been wanting for a long time, and something that I'm also excited that we're going to get, which is an Art of Star Wars High Republic Volume 2.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for this.
Me too.
The Art of books are just so good in general, and the High Republic one, the first volume was really, really great. So no doubt the second one will be just as good.
Yep, coming out in February of 2025.
Yeah.
Kristen Davor is putting that one together too. Yeah, looking forward to that one because I love Phase 2. I've talked about that on this show when I've been on, about how much I love Phase 2 of the High Republic. So yeah, it'll be good to see some of the art of the characters and such from those books. So really excited about that one.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right, we got that. We got more comic stuff. Also in February 2025, we are getting Star Wars The High Republic Fear of the Jedi #1.
Oh, who's writing that?
So that is being written by Kevin Scott.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Nice.
Yeah. So this is, I guess, this will be picking up from the end of the mainline comics.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, which are coming to an end. I don't know, actually fairly soon.
Yeah.
Maybe August, September, something like that. I think is when
soon,
issue 10 is coming out. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this will then, I guess, pick up with that. We've got Keeve Trennis is going to be back. We got Kelnaka back in there.
Oh man.
So yeah.
Everything Kevin Scott does is just so good.
Yeah, Kevin, I guess, from reading between the lines here, sort of closing out the High Republic comics with this.
Mm-hmm. As he should.
Yeah.
As he should.
All right, then we've got a bunch of Acolyte stuff.
Oh, man.
So we've got the Acolyte visual guide.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yep.
Good. I love the visual guides. And, the fact that the Acolyte is getting all of this, we're going to talk about all of it, but, even starting with the visual guide, the fact that a show is getting that, makes me happy. Because Acolyte deserves all of the attention and all the praise, and, the more it's celebrated in different mediums, the more likely we are to get a second season.
All right, so yeah, we got a couple things related to the High Republic here, right? So as we just talked about, we got the High Republic visual guide. Always, love me some visual guides. We've got some upstairs.
Yeah.
Some of the movie visual guides that we found in the basement as we were cleaning up.
Yeah.
So we've got that. We've got the Acolyte Art of book also coming out.
Oh, the art of books. I know I said it already, but those I love even more because it's just fun to look through all the random stuff. There's a lot in there usually, and I can't wait.
And then we've got 2 Acolyte tie-in novels. The other thing that everybody keeps asking for.
God.
People keep asking for, we want art of books and we want tie-in novels.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Before we actually talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, part of me knew that we'd probably get some tie-in stuff because it's the High Republic. It's the Acolyte, but it's still the High Republic. So, of course we would. But, I knew, it's one of those, I knew we would, but when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, I haven't been this excited about a Star Wars book in a very long time. I mean, I'm excited for all of them, but, these especially we'll talk about who in particular is writing them is, I think, what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, it's good to get tie-in stuff because we haven't gotten a lot of it for the shows.
No, and I don't know why.
Yeah. I mean, I think partly the reason why is because there are certain creators who I will not name who I think are keeping their characters on very, very short leashes. You can potentially guess the creators, who may not want to wrestle any control from their particular characters and their particular stories.
Oh boy.
We were supposed to get some tie-in material related to The Mandalorian after season 1. We did not end up getting that. Possibly due to the actions of a certain actor.
Who we shall not name.
Who was, as the kids say, going through it.
Oh, God.
Trying to tweet through it, if you will. So, again, we don't know that for sure.
Yeah, we're just, we don't actually know. I don't know. You don't know. No one knows why it didn't happen. And you know what? The reality is it didn't happen. We all kind of moved on from it.
Sorry, Adam Christopher.
I mean,
You still wrote Shadow of the Sith.
I was going to say, they gave him...
You wrote one of the best Star Wars books ever.
I was going to say, they gave him what ended up being probably a much better project for him anyway.
Yeah.
He's doing fine.
He is.
Just fine. Gotta have him on the show soon. Stay tuned for that.
But yeah, so it's... and even, but even outside of that, Bad Batch got, one hyperspace... stories comic,
Right.
and that's it. So it's really nice to see the return of tie-in material for these shows. And I hope that that's something that maybe they do some more.
Yeah, if they're successful.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we'll talk about, the characters that we're getting and stuff. And it's, I'm very, very, very excited. And excited to know that, like, the High Republic in some capacity is continuing. Even if it's, again, not the High Republic that we're used to getting in books. In terms of, like, series and stuff.
Yeah. So, with that, let's talk about some of the specifics. So, on
it.
May 6th, 2025, couldn't have done it 2 days earlier. I'm in charge of these things. But anyway, May 6th, 2025, we are getting Star Wars The Acolyte Wayseeker, the Vernestra Rowe novel by the person who brought Vernestra Rowe into being, Miss Justina Ireland.
It's perfect. It's perfect because, like, of course, Justina had to be the one, since she introduced us to Vernestra, she had to be the one to kind of take her on to the next thing, bringing her into an adult novel and telling the next part of her story, or whatever that might be. She's never done an adult novel in Star Wars before. But George Mann hadn't either, and he rocked it, so we're in for, I think, something that's going to be quite special.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this because I know one of the things that people have talked about in the context of The Acolyte, and is something that we talked about over on Clashing Sabers when we were doing sort of our look back on the whole season, is that, for folks who are obviously who've been keeping up with High Republic and know Vernestra from the books, that it's been kind of hard, like, reconciling sort of the two Vernestras that we get. Like, on the one hand, we get, like, the really young kid that we get in the books, and then you get this older Vernestra, and she feels, so far removed, not just obviously in time, but also in, what kind of, person she is and she's become.
Right.
So I think it'll be good to have this book somewhere in the middle that can maybe kind of help us bridge a little bit of that and see how that change takes place.
Right. Yeah, sometimes you need that. You don't need it, but sometimes it can be helpful to have some context for, like, this character is very different from the younger version that we know. How did they get to that point? It's not the same thing, but it's kind of like the difference between, like, people saw Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi, and then you see what seems like a pretty different version of him in The Last Jedi, and kind of wondering, like, what happened to change him that much. It's kind of the same thing. Like, what else did she go through? Where has she been? What has she seen to kind of, get her here? So it'll be really interesting.
And, I mean, we'll have other Acolyte tie-in with this because we've got Indara showing up in this book.
I like that. Because we didn't get a ton of her character. Like, we did in the flashbacks. But yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it'll be interesting, the title Wayseeker, right?
Yeah.
That we don't know much about this book beyond the synopsis, but at least we have this one fairly significant detail that Vernestra at some point, maybe this will be touched on at the end of Phase 3, goes off to become a Wayseeker.
Yeah. That's really interesting, especially because we know she comes back.
Yeah.
Which, a Jedi can do that if they want to go off for a while at this point in time and come back. Like, it's quite possible, and obviously we don't know any of this because the High Republic hasn't come to an end yet, and there's still plenty more stories to go until that point, but it's possible by the end of all this, she's kind of just like, nah, like, I gotta go do something else. It's a lot. It's a lot for someone that young, and she's been through a lot and done a lot, and she's seen a lot, felt a lot. Too much,
But yeah, very excited for this one. Mm-hmm. And then the other novel, the one that we don't have a title for yet at this point, a YA novel by Tessa Gratton, scheduled to come out on July 29th, which will be focused on Jecki and Yord.
If the internet hasn't already lost its collective mind, if Star Wars Twitter has not imploded by now, it's gonna. I saw this and I immediately thought, like, the Yord Horde is just going to lose it.
Yeah, exactly.
in the best loving way possible. Didn't get enough Jackie in the series. And now we're getting a whole book. I didn't ask for this, but I'm not mad that we're getting it. I didn't think that we would. But here we are.
Yeah, exactly. Now, one thing that sort of surprised me about this, that I maybe for one reason or another from the book itself, from the show itself, I didn't really clock, because because the synopsis of this, refers to Padawan Jackie and her least favorite fellow Padawan Yord. I, for some reason, did not perceive in watching the show that they were of the same generation.
Yeah, neither did I. But he did say, because, we're currently rewatching the show. And they were talking about how he had just become a knight, like, not that long ago, right?
Yeah.
So it's possible that, like, he is, older or farther along in his training journey. But, it's because Padawan kind of ranges, it has a big range. Or can, depending.
Yeah. You got Obi-Wan's like, you get to Phantom Menace, he's like 50 or senior, He's like 25, he's still a Padawan, he's like that, the basketball player, like they keep on. And it's like, dude, like, you be left already?
If you're not ready, you're not ready. Man, don't pick on him. He turned out fine.
Yeah. So yeah, that was just kind of surprising to me, because I you watch the show and I'm like, oh, he's like, one grade above, like one class above.
Right.
So I didn't think of them as like, oh, they like grew up together.
Right. Yeah, you don't think about that, but Tessa Gratton.
Yeah.
Writing another High Republic adjacent something. I can't wait. More Jackie. Like it was tragic that we lost her so soon.
Yeah.
So here we are, getting more. I can't wait. We have to wait like a whole year.
I know.
At this point. Oh my, that's not fair. But
I know, but it will be worth it.
Oh, it definitely will. I have a feeling this may be what Tessa was teasing a little bit at the end of my last interview with her. She kind of mentioned that something may have been in progress.
All right,
like,
yeah.
Very, like Tessa didn't actually say it, but it was maybe a little bit implied that there was something going on. So. Yeah.
And then we have another Art of book coming out, June 3rd of 2025, which is The Art of Star Wars Outlaws.
That's a long time away.
Yeah.
For the game coming out next month. It's fine. That's a lot of Star Wars in like a very short amount of time.
Yeah. I don't think I mentioned some of the other dates. So it's, hang on, let me go back because I don't think I did. So High Republic Volume 2. Oh, yeah, I said, February is coming out. March is the Acolyte Visual Guide.
Okay.
Then, May, Justina's book. June is the Outlaws book. And then July, the YA novel. And then sometime in summer of 2025 is the Art of Acolyte book.
Remind me, the Art of and the visual guides, are those DK? It should say. It should have the publisher.
Yes. Let's see. The Art of book is Dark Horse.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, it's different. Okay, so the Art of Acolyte is Abrams. Don't know who they are.
Okay.
The Art of Outlaws book is Dark Horse.
All right.
The Art of Phase 2 is also Abrams.
All right. Cool. Interesting. You know, the past ones could have been that, and I just didn't remember. That's fine. I'm still excited.
Yeah.
Still very excited.
So, yeah, we're going to have a lot else in 2025 in addition to the conclusion of the High Republic publishing initiative.
Yeah. As we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, this is all the stuff that just got revealed at the panel.
Right.
And then there's all the things that StarWars.com revealed on Monday.
Oh, right.
Ahead of it.
Right. Oh, man.
That was also part of what's to come.
Right. In other words, Star Wars is never ending. Star Wars publishing is also just going. Everyone is working very hard, I'm sure, to make this possible. We are just being fed. We're just being constantly fed. We're never hungry for Star Wars. It is always. There's just always more.
Yeah.
I know the last thing on there's not a book, but like we can still talk about it.
We can still talk about the Vernestro Black Series figure.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool because like no one ever thought that like High Republic characters would get stuff like that because it's from books.
Yeah.
But now we're getting like a Vernestro figure and it looks really cool.
It does.
It looks really cool. Does this mean we could also get Funko Pops? Probably never.
No, I mean, there are Acolyte Funko.
Oh, right, there are. I forgot.
Yeah, you pre-ordered them.
I forgot. Listen, I pre-order a lot of Funko.
Yeah. So probably there are going to be more because I think we just got sort of the initial wave. Let's just assume it's a first wave.
Right.
You know, we got some of the main characters, but we're missing like Vernestra's not part of that. The Stranger's not part of that.
Right.
So we're probably going to get a second wave, some exclusives, things like that.
Yeah. It's just so cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited. There is so much exciting stuff happening in Star Wars publishing. A lot was revealed at this panel. It's a little bit overwhelming, honestly.
It really is, yeah.
But man, I would have we weren't able to go this year. I would have given anything to be in that room. I really someday
Yeah.
I'll be there. I was invited. I couldn't go, but and by I mean you also would have come. You're part of the show, so you're my plus one. I don't know if that's how that works, but I would have made it work anyway. But really sometimes I love all of these panels. Sometimes not as much as revealed at these as I am thinking there's going to be, but this panel delivered.
Yeah.
There is so much stuff we wouldn't have even guessed is coming.
Right.
I didn't think there'd be I knew there probably would be some art of stuff or some visual guide stuff and definitely comics. Was not expecting book announcements.
Yeah.
But it makes sense why they put this all together. But congratulations to Justina and Tessa for getting to continue writing more High Republic in a slightly different capacity. You earned it, so we're ready. I know it's a year away, but I can't wait to know what the title of the YA book is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be great. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Yeah. No, like you said, this is a really good lineup. This combined with, again, the stuff that we already knew before going into the actual panel,
right,
where we've got the tease, or I guess the new information about the new comic run that's going to be the sort of Road to Jakku that we're getting in the mainline comics, that some of the Edge of Balance stuff that we got to see, getting a little bit of that. It's good. We're getting just a whole variety of, different types of media in covering different eras. So, yeah, you love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, Star Wars can the beauty of it is it can do different things in different eras all at once. And none of that, like, not one thing is taking away from the other thing. It can all coexist. And I think Star Wars Publishing has finally figured that out. It's like you can do a lot of different things, and you're not distracting from one thing or the other, and a lot of things can be enjoyed all at once. I can't wait.
Me too.
All right, I think that's all we got.
Pretty much. I mean, that was quite a bit.
Yeah, it is a lot. All of this is written in my newsletter. The link will be in the show notes, description, whatever it is called now. So there you can see all of the things that we're talking about. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Now This Is Lit is part of the Faraway Fandom Network. It is produced by Davor and written, hosted, and edited by me. Jose Jimenez designed our podcast art. You can keep up with the show on Substack and Now This Is Lit, and find the show wherever you get your podcasts. There are so many ways you can support the show, and all of those ways are linked in the show description. The newest way is to become a member of our Patreon. For $1 a month, you can get access to an exclusive show and a sticker. And if we get 500 people to support the Patreon per month, I can hire an editor. That would be great for me, and maybe for you too. So if you'd like to support the show with just $1 a month, you can do it that way. Or you can just keep listening and sharing the episodes. That is also helpful, and I appreciate it. For more book reviews and Star Wars Book Celebration, follow Star Wars Book Reviews on Instagram and TikTok.